Welcome back. The weekend finally here, which means there are lots of new movies hitting theaters. Joining us live now with his reviews is film critic Richard Crouse. Always good to see you, my friend. Happy Friday. Let's begin with Ballerina. This is a new installment in the John Wick franchise. Take it away. What did you think?
Yeah, this is kind of a reboot and a prequel. It falls between the third John Wick film and the fourth John Wick film in terms of timing. And it stars Ana de Armas as a newly minted Ruska Roma assassin. That's the band of assassins that John Wick is part of. And they have a very strict code of conduct, but she breaks a lot of the rules because she is more interested in getting revenge on the people who killed her father than almost anything else. And this movie gets off to a slow start because it's an origin story. And origin stories always mean that we have to learn a lot about the character and about the world. And they tell us a lot of this stuff. But we've seen a great deal of it before in the four other John Wick movies. So it starts off kind of slowly, and it never really catches fire. Ana de Armas can do the action sequences, but they don't have the same kind of fleet-footedness as the John Wick movies had. So I was just hoping that this story would be, in terms of storytelling, as agile as the lead character is, and it isn't. So I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5, and it's in theaters right now. It's called Ballerina.
That's a bit of a disappointment. Hopefully you have better news when it comes to The Ritual. This is a new horror movie based on the true story of a 1928 exorcism. This isn't going to be for everybody, right, Richard?
No, it won't be, although exorcism movies tend to do really, really well in movie theaters. So this is based on a true story that was also one of the inspirations for The Exorcist and one of the inspirations for a number of other films that have been made about this. This claims to really hew very closely to the facts, which is possibly why they elected to shoot it almost like a documentary with a handheld, very restless camera. It's on the move all the time. Unfortunately, that distracts from the storytelling to such a degree that I only gave The Ritual 1.5 stars out of 5. It's in theaters right now.
Okay. Speaking of horror films, you're describing Dangerous Animals as a sadistic survival story. Tell me more.
Yeah, this is about a serial killer played by Jai Courtney, the Australian actor, who kidnaps people, takes them on his boat, and then feeds them to sharks while he is videotaping them for his own pleasure. And so it's Silence of the Lambs meets Jaws, I suppose, but it really feels more like Saw at Sea because it is quite sadistic. There is a real mean-spiritedness to this movie, which works, you know, in terms of the kind of genre that it is, the survivalist serial killer genre. But because of the setting, they're on a boat in the middle of the water for a great deal of the runtime. There's not a lot of options as to where this story could go, so it kind of runs out of steam. But still, it's got enough thrills that I gave it 3 stars out of 5.
Okay, and finally on our list this week is Predator, Killer of Killers. This is an animated sci-fi action movie, but it's not necessarily for kids.
No, just because it's on Disney Plus does not mean it's for the whole family. This is Predator, the character that's been around for almost 40 years probably by now. And it's an animated version, so we've never really seen anything quite like this. And what you have is essentially like that schoolyard game that you used to play, you know, in a fight between Frankenstein and Dracula, who would win? Well, that's what this movie is asking, except it's in a fight between Predator and a ninja, or Predator and a Viking, or a Predator and a World War II fighter pilot. Who would win? And you'll have to tune into Disney Plus to find out. Keep in mind, though, again, because it's animated and because it's on Disney Plus does not mean it's for kids. This is pretty grisly stuff in terms of its graphic content, but it's also pretty entertaining stuff if you buy into the concept and if you're a fan of Predator. And I know there's a lot of Predator fans out there, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, called Predator, Killer of Killers, and it's on Disney Plus right now.
All right, Richard Crouse, thanks so much for all of this. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.